All right, everybody, so welcome back, and definitely for those who haven't subscribed to my channel yet, I suggest to do so, and I would recommend you guys to watch all of the videos that was released last week and the other following weeks that is already on my list of 42 all videos and short clippings, okay? And also make sure to go ahead and do the readings done that I have previously uploaded on my YouTube channel for you guys to enjoy and entertain yourselves. Now, the reason why I'm compelled to film today is because we're going to go ahead and talk about the whys. Why am I facing the challenges? What is the meaning of all of this? As I said this previously on this video right over here last week as to why we're going through this transition from 2022 to 2023 in regards to the Mars and Mercury retrograde. Now, and of course, everybody is feeling hopelessness. Everybody is feeling like they want to give up. I said this last week as well. I'm not trying to repeat myself, but I'm going to go ahead and try to make shift as to why you guys are going through this right now. And it's going to make sense, and stay tuned and make sure to just go ahead and pay attention and try to put this into your perspective as best as you can to your highest self, okay? So everybody is always asking themselves, why am I going through this? Why, right? The challenges, the trials, the tribulations, everything. And some of you guys are texting me like crazy, like every single one of you guys all over the globe. Like, why am I facing these challenges? Why am I going through this? Why me of all people? I didn't do anything wrong. You're absolutely right. You didn't do anything wrong, obviously. But, you know, and you're just wondering why all these things that's so dark upon you, dark clouds are upon your heads, and asking yourself, why is this happening to me? And I'm going to tell you why. The reason why this is happening is because we're going through a transitional shift. I said this last week. We are in 2022 transitioning to 2023, and we're in the Mars and Mercury retrograde. So you have to just excuse the universe right now when they're doing a cleaning sweep. When I say a cleaning sweep, you have to ask yourself, if you haven't seen my manifestation video, I would recommend to do so right over here. I've said this many times. I've explained that over as to how this works. So if you guys are one of those folks that has the biggest dreams right now, okay? Some of you guys are wanting fame. Some of you guys wanting the wealth. Some of you guys are even like wanting a business to grow. Those are really big dreams. Nobody wants to stay in a 9-to-5 job. I completely understand that. Nobody does. But the thing is, in order for you to succeed into those endeavors, into those big dreams to become reality, there's going to be some challenges and trials and sacrifices that you're going to have to face. That is just every life aspect that you're going to see. And the reason why that is because in manifestation, if you're wanting something and you're saying, I have it, I want it, guess what's going to happen? The universe is going to strip everything from you. Because you know why? Because some of those things that you're doing right now may not be aligning to something that you want. For instance, I'll just say you are an aspiring actress, right? You're an actress. You want to become one of the top actresses or actors in the Hollywood industry, and you want all the fame, right? But here's the thing. You have to ask yourself, okay, you want to be an aspiring actress, but is it going to fit to the lifestyle that you're in now? Let's just say you have kids, right? You have kids, or you have a, you are going through a 9-to-5 job, and your finances are very slim right now, right? Basically, obviously, you got to work. So how can you pursue being an actor or an actress? It takes a lot of work, takes a lot of schooling too to become an aspiring actor or actress, but then you have all these things going on as well in your life. So what is the universe going to do? Because you want it and you want to have it. So guess what the universe is going to react to that? You keep wanting it and having it. Guess what's going to happen? It's going to be stripped. Everything that you worked hard on in the beginning, because it's not aligning towards to your desire, which is becoming an actress or actor. So for example, I'll just put it out here. Halle Berry, for example, I read her story that in the beginning, she was not this famous person. She wasn't like a wealthy person at all. She actually lived in poverty. She was actually living in, women's shelters because she gone through so much relationship issues. And also on top of that, I'm not sure, don't quote me on this, but I just read it, I'm not sure. I want to hear her side one day. But You know, she basically went through a lot of trials, tribulations, and challenges before she even got to the fame that she wanted. Same thing with Oprah. Same thing with Ashton Kutcher. I remembered Ashton Kutcher. He was literally saying that he wanted to become an aspiring actor, but he didn't know what to do. He didn't know where to start. He kept wanting it. He had that vision that he could have it. But the thing is, the universe literally stripped him from what's not aligning him towards that manifestation. You see what I'm getting? I hope I'm making sense to you guys. I know sometimes this is kind of being miscommunicated at this moment in time, but I want you guys to understand, if things are being stripped off from your life, like for me, for example, there was a lot of things that was stripped off from my life. I was actually homeless twice. You guys may be really surprised. I was actually homeless twice in my life. The first time that happened, I got homeless, is because I was in a very toxic relationship with a false twin flame. Yes, you heard this. Absolutely number one. And I'm going to talk about that next week, about what a false twin flame is. I was with a false twin flame. It was very toxic. You know, it had the same trait feelings of a twin flame, but it went south really, really quick. And obviously, I became homeless the first time this ever happened. And I didn't know how to get out of the situation. But the thing is, there was times that I was really wanting to have a certain amount of money, a certain lifestyle that I wanted at that time. And guess what? The only way for me to have that lifestyle and for things to get aligned is I had to be stripped. So everything, I've lost everything. Basically, I lost my home. I only had a DVD player and clothes on my back. That's all I had. But did it get me to the destination that I need after those challenges? Absolutely. Absolutely it did. And the reason why I'm telling you guys is because this is exactly what's happening to you guys in this moment of time. You guys are literally getting stripped right now. If you're watching this, and I know you guys are getting stripped because your dreams are huge. There's some of you guys that are becoming musicians, business entrepreneurs who doesn't want to work the 9-to-5 jobs anymore. Some of you guys are wanting to become authors, like, you know, somewhere along the lines of wealth and fame, basically. So I just wanted to let you guys know, if you guys are dreaming that big, understand that the universe is reacting to your desires, but it takes a lot of sacrifices for you to get there. So if you want it, you are going to get it. However, it is going to take some time, and you have to trust the process. Even if you're going through challenges, it doesn't matter. You have to make peace with both of those terms. Okay, you guys are probably wondering, okay, Rika, how do I accept these terms? How can I put myself in an inner peace situation from these challenges and getting my manifestation desired all in one? How do I keep myself balanced into my emotions or into my mindset, right? So again, I talked about this previously on my videos, that you have to go through mindfulness. If you cannot handle this on your own, you have to understand, you have to seek guidance through that, okay? It wasn't an easy process for me. I didn't have all the right answers, and nobody does. If you tell me right now, face to face, that you have all the right answers, then I don't see why you're needing to watch this video, or why you're needing to search for this on YouTube. Why, you know, life is really, you know, challenging right now. Why is, you know, all of my desires, you know, not coming in fruition right now, right? Again, it is coming in fruition. So the number one thing I'm going to tell you guys with manifestation is that if things are starting to disappear from your life, it means something is entering in that is good. And another thing that's coming up also, that your manifestation and your desires are coming true, is that you need to start paying attention to your signs. You need to start paying attention to your higher self and your spirit guides. There has to be a connection as to why these things are happening. So you need to start looking at your lifestyle. You need to start reevaluating yourself. Ask yourself if this lifestyle that you're in right now, is it going to serve purpose, and is it going to align to the desires that you want to happen. And then also on top of that, you need to start really looking into your ego self. Do you have unhealthy egos, or do you have healthy egos? When I say unhealthy ego means like you're always getting stuck into those negative emotions. Like, I'm depressed, I'm anxious, I'm always worried, I'm always stating I'm broke, I'm not abundant, I'm not happy. My God, I can't even say those words anymore because it's like if I keep saying it, it's like I'm entertaining it. And that's exactly what you guys are doing, is you're entertaining the negativity. So obviously, if manifestation is not working out, well, you need to reevaluate your emotions. When was the last time you guys checked in with yourselves? When was the last time you guys ever said to yourself some positive affirmations? When was the last time you guys ever felt confident in yourself, right? So the number one thing to get your manifestation to work is you have to speak in confidence. Even though you're in a rut right now, or you're in a challenging times at this, right now as we speak, you need to start letting yourself know to start, like, it's time to start putting in some positive affirmations. Like, for example, rather than saying I can't, or I won't, it's never gonna happen, or I'll even say this, sorry to call out on one of my friends, but I'm homeless. You're not going to make anything happen. The more you keep thinking homelessness, the more you keep thinking you're not abundant, you're always broke, and you're always, again, I don't care what challenges that you are, seeing right now. I know it sounds so hopeless. I know it looks hopeless right now, but that's just right now. It's temporary, you guys. It's not permanent. So understand that all these things are happening into your lives because you have to reevaluate yourself what you are speaking. So for some of you who are Christians, I'm not against you guys or whatnot, but you guys said this in the biblical terms. It's manifestation. The tongue is very powerful, right? Whatever you speak is going to happen. So that's the same thing with manifestation. Meditation, prayer, same thing. So when you're going towards your inner peace in meditation, it's like a form of prayer. So rather than praying, okay, this is the number one thing I'm going to show you guys, and this is the secret. I used to pray all the time. So wrong, okay? My prayers look like this. I always said, oh my God, I hope I get this job. Or I am so sick and tired of being sad all the time. I'm just sick and tired. Or I feel sad today. Please make me better. Please get me to be better. Or it's honestly, it sounds so sad to hear. If I was God up in the sky and literally listening to how you guys pray to me, I'm like, listen, it doesn't sound good, and I'm not going to react the way you're praying to me right now, because the number one thing the universe is telling you guys and God is telling you is that you need to be confident in what the universe created for you and how you were created. Right now, you're not accepting who you are. You're not accepting your flaws. You're not accepting the full you. So how can the universe or God react to your prayers or your meditation if you're still feeling some type of negativity inside of you? Or how can any even desires even come up if your attraction is negative? Would I be attracted to you if you were a negative Nancy or a Debbie Downer? You have to ask yourself that question. Would you be attracted to me right now if I was to say, I am always sad, I'm always crying, I can't stand it, I hate the world, I hate this? Would you want to be around me right now? Let's just be clear and be honest with that. Would you be around me right now? No. So how can your desires that's positive want to be aligned with you? That's exactly what I'm talking about here. That's why if you guys did not get that video last week at all of what I said, then obviously you don't understand what manifestation is. And I want you guys to revert back to those videos. So understand the reason why I made this video today is for you guys to know that the universe does love you. When you are going through challenges, it's not because it's to punish you. It's because it's reacting towards to your mindset, your emotions, and the way you are taking care of yourself physically. So if you're one of those folks that needs help and don't know how to establish this, then you need to start talking to a coach. You need to start talking to a counselor. You need to start talking to somebody who knows how to help you and navigate you to your aha moments and to your solutions. I know there's some counselors out there right now that's practicing that basically you have to figure things out on your own without us having to tell you what to do, because that's just the nature of the practice. However, though, life coaches are very inspiring, and I would recommend you guys to go ahead and seek one so that way you understand where you need to go in life. I know for some of you guys are like, well, I have a pastor for that, or I have a priest for that. I'm sorry, a pastor and a priest can only do so much, but yes, in temporary times when you go to church, it's going to feel good. You're going to be like, I'm uplifted, I'm good. But then when you go home, when you're by yourself, how are you actually going to navigate your life, and how are you really going to navigate all of your desires to come in fruition? How are you going to do that? Obviously, you can't do this on your own, and you need to seek some guidance and some help. So watch that video again before we move forward. All right, and then the next thing that's happening also during this Mars and Mercury retrograde is that you guys are going to feel very, how do I say this, miscommunicated. So if you guys are having some relationship issues right now, especially with twin flames, with your soulmates, or you went through a breakup right now with the karmic or even a false twin flame, which I will talk about that on my next video. What is the difference of a false twin flame and the true twin flame? So if you guys are going through relationship problems right now, understand that this is not the time to spew out negative energies back and forth together, because what's happening is that you're putting in negative and negative together. So what's the reaction to that? It's going to come out negative. But when you put it positive and positive together, what's the reaction to that? It's going to be positive. Obviously, everything is just energy around us. So anything that you try to speak out against each other, you need to be really mindful of how you say it and really approach it in a gentle kindness way, because I'm going to tell you guys right now, there's a lot of my couples that I have been coaching and teaching and helping out, that they've been going through some miscommunication problems, and a lot of the times they think that they are not compatible together, or sometimes they're thinking, oh, they're being spiteful, or sometimes they're thinking they're just being offensive or this. But I can promise you 90% of the time it's just being miscommunicated. Like, you guys are not approaching it correctly, you guys are not talking to each other in a gentle manner. And if the home is very right now at this moment, like, it's very toxic and you guys can't talk to each other appropriately in the home, I would suggest to go out on a date and actually talk in a public place, so you guys have a calming environment, and to talk to each other as gentle as possible, and express your feelings openly. Because if you guys are soulmates and twin flames, there would never be a problem with communication. Communication is actually very effective with one another when it comes to those counterparts. With a karmic, I'm so sorry to say, if you broke up with a karmic just now and you're feeling so hurt, this is my only recommendation. I would really recommend to seek out a coach and a counselor to help you move forward, because it is very painful right now, and I validate your feelings and your emotions for those who are going through a breakup right now. It does suck. I can't say it's easy to move on just as quickly, because it's not, but you do need guidance, so that way it doesn't hurt as much as the day goes on. Now, for karmic relationship, it's not good anyways to stay with it. It's very toxic. You guys are just going to go through more aggression, more energy exchange of that, and you're never going to move forward. And then when you go hit the Mercury retrograde, guess what? You guys are just going to offend each other. So it was kind of good in a sense that you guys broke up. But if you guys really can't handle your emotions by yourself, I would really recommend to seek out some guidances with people who actually know what to do to help you guys out and assist you. I'm actually a relationship coach, so if you want to seek me, that's completely fine. If you want to seek others out there, I recommend to do so. But I would recommend to really try to make peace with yourself and enjoying your company, and start doing your self-care and self-love to yourself. Start practicing your affirmation. And as far as for my couples goes, if you guys are going through some spats right now into your relationship, it's kind of a little bit sour, this is the time to start rekindling. So, and I will talk about that on my next slide over in just a few seconds here. So the number one topic right now is relationships. So everybody's always asking me, how do you communicate effectively with one another? How can we end up being in good terms again? So I'm going to ask this question. So this is what I typically tell my couples. I always ask them, when was the last time you guys ever talked about the first time you guys met? It sounds so, it sounds so corny, but it's actually really sweet when you actually start talking about that with your significant other. You have to ask yourself, if things are really sour right now, you need to start referring back to the good memories and ask yourself, what was the reason why you were in love with the counterpart in the first place? That's the reason why relationships don't work out, is because they forget to talk about stuff like that. You have to reevaluate, how did you guys even first started? What was the reason why you guys were in love? And as you guys talk about all those good memories and all those good times, you're going to end up having your aha moment and a solution to your problem. Because again, 3 things that can destroy a relationship is, number 1 is finances, 2 is miscommunication, And 3, of course, is infidelity. But obviously, with people who go through infidelities, there is some room for forgiveness there. However, there is also a fine line behind that as to why people do tend to do that, because that means something is lacking into the relationship. It's not because they don't love you or they never cared about you. It means something lacked into the relationship. So you really need to start, you can't just keep on blaming the other person. That's the number one thing I'm telling everybody, is that we need to start taking accountability for ourselves. Yes, granted, if you are getting abused mentally, physically, and emotionally, definitely do not tolerate that and leave the relationship. But if for some reason you are the one who is the instigator and you keep playing that victim mindset, saying, well, I was hurt, I felt this, I felt that, and you keep blaming on the other person rather than taking accountability for yourselves of what happened, then that means to tell me there's a reason why the other person ended up cheating. So when infidelity happens, it means something was lacking. And then miscommunication, that's an easy fix. You guys just need to cool your minds first and foremost before you start communicating with each other, especially expressing your feelings. You need to talk to one another with a calm, present state. If you guys are very angry at that moment, it's time for you to either take a walk, take a good breather. Don't react to it. So the number one thing I'm going to say, if somebody is yelling or angry, do not react to it. Why? Because the more you react to that anger and into that spite or whatever, guess what you're doing to yourself? You are exchanging that energy again, and guess what's going to happen? It's going to be back and forth. It's never going to end. So the only way to end an argument and to end a miscommunication is to first and foremost step back, breathe, and evaluate as to why you are getting triggered or reacting. So don't react to an angered state. Have a calm peace of mind. Come back to it and talk to each other in a calmly way. If you guys cannot do it at home, then it's time for you guys to go out in a public space, so that way you guys can have a civilized conversation. And if that still doesn't work, then it's really time to go get yourself some counseling or some relationship coach that can help you navigate through each other's emotions and your communication, how to communicate better. Okay. And then the lastly thing is talking about the good times. I was talking about that earlier. Never forget how you guys first started. Never forget why you guys were in a relationship in the first place. Always ask each other, what was the sole purpose of why you guys were together? Are you guys uplifting each other? Are you guys identical, or are you guys triggering emotions? So those are the things that you guys need to evaluate, and also taking accountability for yourself. Do not play the blame game or the victim game, because it's not going to work out for you if you do. This is the reason why relationship and divorces happens a lot in United States or all over the globe recently. Also, another thing I have to say before anything comes up on my text messages, because I know it's going to happen again during this season, which is completely fine. That's the reason why I'm here, is to help you guys navigate your life. Is I know things are looking dark and hopeless, and I said this in the beginning of my video, is it sounds so cliche, but I don't want you guys to give up on your dreams. The number one thing that you could do is give up on yourself and giving up on your dreams. And the reason why I say to persevere and to push is because darkest times means exciting news is about to come. It means that you're going through a dark night of soul. If you haven't seen my previous video, which is called The Dark Night of Soul, I would recommend to watch this, because it's really going to give you guys a great perspective and insight as to why you're going through these dark moments. And also on top of that, understand that the universe is not going to make you go through this if you guys cannot handle it. You are probably one of the strongest person that I know if you are going through such dark night of souls. And honestly, people who go through the dark night of soul, it's so funny. A lot of people would tell me, oh, I'm really upset right now and sad, and I would always ask why, because my mother and father took my Mercedes away. And they look at that as the dark night of soul. I'm sorry, I'm not meaning to laugh. I validate feelings that they're feeling upset, but when I hear things like that, I'm like, honey, you haven't even hit the dark night of soul yet, so you got nothing to be upset about. But for people who really endured a lot in their life, whether you were assaulted. I really feel for those people out there who were assaulted physically and then mentally and emotionally abused, or some of them are going through homelessness, poverty. The reason why those things are occurring right now is because God in the universe is telling you that you are one of the strong ones, that you can overcome this if you want to. Here's the thing about that is, there's people out there that tells me, there's people who are not overcoming poverty. There's people who are not overcoming the challenges. And people ask me why that is. And the reason why that is happening is because they're not pushing themselves. They're not trying. So they feel like, oh, you know what, this is it with life. I give up. I'm not going to push anymore. So if you're going to say that, guess what the universe and God is going to react? Then why should I help you? If you're going to give up and you're not going to do the work and you're not going to help yourself because you are the highest self, then why should I react? Why should I help you in any shape or form if you are going to give up anyway? But for those who persevered and pushed, they actually went through those trials, turbulences, and challenges. They ended up becoming victorious. And that's exactly what I talked about when it comes to the stories of Jesus, the story of Kuan Yin. If you guys do your research and read about the story of those, of Jesus and Kuan Yin, Buddha, even every gods of the realms, there's so many interesting facts that you guys can read about and research on. But a lot of people are scared, and I understand, because why? Because some of you guys are probably still comfortable in the traditional ways. Some of you guys are still comfortable of not embracing the change. So this is the number one thing I'm going to tell you as a message for all of you guys. If you do not embrace the change, then how can you say you're ready to take on the next quest of your journey? How can you say that you're ready to take on all of your dreams to become in fruition if you think like this, if you don't embrace the change? And then also on top of that, another quote that I've said a long time ago, this is before I became very spiritual and woke. I said this a long time ago in my high school years. I said, if there is no suffering, where is the passion of life? And that is absolutely spot on, because when I got my coaching with Jenny, she literally talked about like the challenges, like, if you're going through challenges, it means that you're going towards to your success. I had no idea what that meant. And the funny thing is, I realized I was saying that quote already in my high school years of all times. I said, without suffering, where is the passion of life? That is absolutely spot on. You have to go through it in order to become victorious. You're gonna get attacked. You're going to get criticized. It doesn't matter what faith-based you're in, you're going to go through it. But that doesn't mean you give up of going towards to what you want. You are the highest self. You are powerful than you know. You are the vessel of God. Like I've mentioned before, you're the vessel of God. You are connected to the universe. You can be the destiny creator. You are the one who is going to depict how your life and your story is going to end. You are the ones to do it. Okay? God is just going to assist and help you how to get there. If you want success, you want an abundant life, you want happiness, then start acting and thinking that way. But if you want poverty, misery, and for the rest of your life getting stuck in that, in that environment, then just completely give up and just turn this off. I'm so sorry to be sounding so offensive, but that is the truth. It seems hard, but you have got to calm down. Everybody needs to calm down, reassess, recharge, and reset. It's okay to do that, okay? And it's okay to put yourself in a solitude moment where you can have a clear mind. And, I don't care what you want to do. Start planting. Start creating hobbies. Do something exciting. Go traveling. Go do something crazy. Even if you want to go do bungee jumping, or if you want to go skydiving, or if you want to travel, the most scariest places on earth just because you said, I had a bucket list done, then go ahead and do it. No one's telling you no. You know, no one's telling you no but yourself. And again, it's the same thing with going forward with your dreams. No one is stopping you from getting to that except yourself. No one is going to ever stop you from doing that. Ever. So that is like the most crucial things I will have to say regarding this video. And if you want to know more regarding twin flames, what is 1111, what is the dark night of soul, how do you manifest appropriately, or what is going on with the Mars, the Mercury, Jupiter, Neptune, everything, the astrology, okay, I want you guys to watch all of these videos right over here beside me, so that way you guys could understand what I'm talking about, and I will catch you guys there.